We're heroes, not zeros. We've got what they fear, so face the facts. You got a power to the oh shoot, camera's on. Hey guys, Silver Alert here, back in with another edition of Saturday Morning Cartoons, and today we're having a look at Wildcats. Wildcats. I'm gonna shut up now. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, now as I said before, today we're having a look at Wildcats! Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. For realsies this time. Wildcats is a show that only lasted one season. They were created by the infamous Jim Lee. You might know him for something else. What could that have been? No, that's not it. But, regardless, rocking the new comfy chair. Wildcats is a show that lasted one season. It was based off a comic book, obviously. I believe written and drawn by Jim Lee. The talented Jim Lee. And it centered around this team of, basically aliens, or half-breed aliens. Grifter, Zealot, Spartan, Warblade, Voodoo, and Maul. And then their computer, in quotes computer, Void. And then their little short manager boss guy. It's not like Mighty Ducks where he was a manager, but you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But it's centered around them and their fight with the evil Daemonite. The Daemonites, the evil aliens that are kind of like xenomorphs and something out of Ben 10 combined. I say that because the Daemonites, looking at one right now, are pretty nasty little buggers. They come out of these little eggs and they attack people, and it's not nice. It's not cool either. Not approved. And they're led by the evil Lord Hellspawn. He has a pretty sick name and looks pretty cool looking. Basically a flaming, almost skull-like head. He's got claws and stuff, kind of like Venom. He's very 90s, but he's so cool looking it doesn't matter. But to say the very least, it's centered around the Wildcats' battle with Hellspawn. Now, there were other characters like the Troika, which was three basically bounty hunter guys hired by the Daemonites to quote unquote kill the white cats. Yeah, white cats. There's one of those over there, but he has nothing to do with this show. The Wildcats. One of them's name was Slag. He was a lava monster. Action figure was way more detailed than I had any right to be, but that's cool. Kudos to Playmates for being able to paint something for once. But yes, their ongoing battle with the Daemonites is basically the synopsis of the entire show. The Troika were some side villains. Mr. Majestic, who is a freaking dirtbag, is that jerk face. McGillicuddy, a ham. Glad he freaking blew up, to say the very least. Spoiler alert. But this show only lasted one season. I believe it was only 13 episodes too. And I was pretty happy with the ending, actually. Unlike Gargoyles Season 3, where I wanted more. But Gargoyles is my favorite show of all time, so I would have wanted more even if it ended correctly. Anyways. But to say the very least, Wildcats... excuse me. This is not going to be like the Mummies Alive video, I assure you. Whoever disliked it, I will find you. And I will Liam Neeson you in the next year. It's been a long day. But to say the very least, it ended on a high note. It lasted one season, but again, I think that's all it really needed to be. And I think it did it well. All the characters are pretty cool. They're pretty well developed throughout the series. I have to say, though, my favorite members of the Wildcats are probably Grifter and Zealot. After them, Warblade. I can remember his name. Warblade and Maul. And I don't really care about Voodoo and Spartan and Void. Regardless. 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 Um, it's a fairly decent show. I mean, it's entertaining. It's got action. It's your typical 90s, like, afternoon, Saturday morning show. It did what it needed to do, and it did it right. I'd say one of the cooler villains was Pike. He was a traitor. I can't remember the race that the Wildcats were. Well, half of them, anyways. The Wildcats were, because it's been a few years since I actually, excuse me, watched the show. But I digress. Pike was one of the cooler villains, although he said the funniest thing. I think he said, prepare to face the wrath of my staff. Really? Pretty stupid if you ask me, but he was a pretty cool character nonetheless. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Wildcats. Not bad, not great, but it did what it needed to do. Next week we'll be looking at Savage Dragon, a show that lasted much longer. Much longer. Much longer. Which I think was also done by Jim Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Or someone similar to him in that same field. I mean, it is Image after all. And yeah, so until next time, I'm going to give this show an 8 out of 10 and suggest you check it out at least once. So, that being said, hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Saturday Morning Cartoons. And until next time, Wildcats! Wildcats! Ah, okay, I'm shutting up now. Serious. Yeah!